All right, so this is my presentation on how Joseph saves his family and Egypt from starvation. So it's just a quick little recap of Joseph's story. So his brothers sold him to a group of Ishmaelites who then sold him to Potiphar in Egypt. And that's how he ended up becoming a servant to Potiphar. But then he was put into prison after being wrongly accused of trying to lay with Potiphar's wife. And that in prison is where he met the Pharaoh's chief butler and chief baker, and he interprets both of their dreams. And as a result of that, the Pharaoh's chief butler tells Pharaoh about Joseph's ability to interpret dreams when Pharaoh needs a dream interpreted. And that's how Joseph ended up interpreting Pharaoh's dream for him. And he interpreted that dream to mean 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. And as a result of that, Pharaoh ends up making Joseph ruler over Egypt and putting him in charge of all the rationing of the food and selling the rations during the famine. And Joseph is basically the only person above Joseph is Pharaoh. So Joseph is second in line to Pharaoh. So in Genesis 45:5, this is Joseph speaking to his brothers when they come to Egypt to buy food. And he tells them, "Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life." And this is just him telling them that it was God's plan that he go to Egypt and so that he was able to make these rations to help people during the famine. So without Joseph's ability to interpret dreams, no food would have been rationed. This most likely would have resulted in a lot of death due to starvation. God's plan saved many in the land from that fate, as well as Joseph's family. So Genesis 41, verse 57, talks about how all the lands experienced a famine and they bought food from Joseph. This is just a little map that I thought was really helpful, and it shows how kind of big the area is. And over here is where Joseph's family was, and they would have had to travel this way over here to where Joseph was in Egypt in order to get that food. So this just kind of shows how big the famine is if it was affecting Joseph's family all the way over here, as well as Egypt and stuff. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So this is just how many people were in Jacob/Israel's family. And Jacob/Israel is Joseph's father. And so according to Genesis 46:27, 70 people from Jacob/Israel's family ended up in Egypt in total. So that's a lot of mouths to feed, especially during a famine. So it's definitely really important that Joseph was in such a high position in Egypt so that he could ensure that his family was all fed. And these are just my sources. Thank you.